Hello, everybody. It's Mel Cherrygate from the Whoever You Art podcast. And I have another guest, and we were talking, and I already feel so good to have her. Her name is Penny, but she also goes for Glebby Swam, right?
Yeah, Gladys Swan. Yeah, that's my pen name.
Yeah,
I
Glebby.
write I write under
Yeah.
Gladys Swan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and she's an author, and I'm always like so in awe when people write books because I think it's awesome. It's something that I think that it takes so much courage to do, and I know it's really hard also to write a book. So I think it's awesome. We're gonna talk about the book and everything. She's a recovery alcoholic, how I am, but she's been sober for much longer than me, and but it's awesome like to share the journey. So hi Penny, how are you?
Hi Mel, thank you for having me. And yeah, it's lovely. It's great to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit, like we were talking before, about your journey on recovery from alcohol, but then we can go deep, like
Yeah,
in the whole recovery thing,
yeah. No, I
right?
prefer. Yeah, I actually really like to do that because for me, alcohol is just it's just a tip of the iceberg. It's the stuff
Oh yeah.
that everybody sees, but it's the stuff that you don't see that is that yeah, I mean that's what needs to be dealt with. So my recovery journey started in 1998, and I was sober for 4 years. And
Mm-hmm.
my way of getting sober was staying on the same side of the road as the off license until I didn't want to go in anymore because I felt that that was a much healthier for me than pretending I never wanted to drink again, because I always wanted to drink again and I would have taken it intravenously if I could have done. So I just,
Oh,
for me, it was, I preferred to do it that way. I got sober. I was sober for 4 years and then I relapsed. I watched my behavior. I'd been trying to get sober again for the last year of that four, but it just wasn't happening. And then the final one was on New Year's Eve, and I saw my behavior, and I just like, whoa, that is you this is I now see what you do. And New Year's
mm-hmm.
Day 2007, I stopped, and I've been sober ever since. It's
Oh,
amazing.
this is
It's
so awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It's 19 years and 8 months. Not that I'm counting, um, but it is
You
a
don't
day
need
at
to
a,
count anymore. It's
I know, but
already done, you know.
it's still a day at a time, Mel. You cannot get complacent. We know people that are 20 years and they've recovered and they relapse. You cannot
Yeah,
be
they always say.
complacent. Yeah,
Yeah, they always say I'm like today is the most important thing,
absolutely
and
right. And your choices, and yeah. But it's the
yeah,
stuff
and I
it's
like what.
this. Sorry.
Don't know, just keep going.
No, carry on,
No,
please.
I, I like what you said about relapsing in the behavior
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the
yeah,
the substance,
yeah, yeah,
because it's exactly like that, and
yeah,
and sometimes I do watch myself like kind of going the same way, not using it, but like the behavior we know, right?
yeah, yeah,
Behavior,
yeah,
and then I'm like, okay, oh my God, I can't go that road,
yeah,
and then I try to come back.
yeah.
And what do you think it made you relapse the first time?
I was under a lot of stress going through a really, really difficult time, and it was 2002, and I snapped. I just literally, it was like I couldn't. My brain was like an elastic band, and it just the level of stress, and I just literally snapped. And I was. It was so unconscious. I sat there with some friends, and I suddenly they were drinking wine, and up until that point. I didn't have a problem with people drinking wine around me as long as they weren't getting pissed. I was cool with it. But best part, I just went, oh, you couldn't pour me a glass. I literally saw myself. It's like an out of body experience. Going to the kitchen, grabbing a glass for myself, putting it down on the table, and I said, "You couldn't pour me a glass, could you?" And they were like, "What, Penny? Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, I just fancy one." Everyone was going, "No, no, no, Penny, you can't." And I was like, "Yeah, I couldn't get it down my throat quick enough." It was
Mm.
like
Yeah.
anesthetic, and the whole world went quiet, and that was it, you know.
Yeah.
But by the end of the four
Uh,
year, yeah, by the end of the 4 years, honestly, Mel, I didn't recognise myself. I looked like a bag lady. It was horrendous. My mental health, everything shot to pieces. Horrendous,
yeah.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's hell. I
yeah,
think I remember one day I remember that I was sober after rehab the first time,
mm,
and I remember that I was feeling so anxious, so uncomfortable with my body, with
yeah,
myself.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I couldn't be in my head, and I remember deciding I'm gonna drink. So that's what you said, that it's like an out of body.
yeah,
It is.
yeah,
You see yourself
yeah,
doing it, and then it's kind of like you make a decision, like
yeah,
I don't care, I'm gonna
yeah,
drink.
yeah,
And that's what I did. And I remember that the first glass, it was exactly like you said. The world went quiet,
yeah,
and my anxious went down. And then I
yeah,
thought that day I will never be able to be sober,
mm, yeah,
because you know this is
yeah,
just makes so much sense.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, it makes sense at the
Yep.
time.
Of course it does.
And then, yeah, it's like the solution
Mhm.
for what you're feeling.
Mhm.
And then, of course, like you said, I went right into hell.
Mm.
You
Yep.
know, I didn't have one day of peace since that day
No.
that I
No.
relapsed.
No. I mean, I through for about a year I was okay, and then after that my brain just started frying, and I couldn't drive on motorways anymore. I couldn't drive on dual carriageways. I couldn't cross bridges again. I couldn't go on trains again. I was having panic attacks. My brain, it was like my brain was
So,
breaking. It was horrendous.
and
And mm,
and you spent how much time when you
for
relapsed drinking?
4 years, I was
Oh,
gone.
it's a
Gone,
lot.
gone, literally gone for 4 years. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
I couldn't get back. Yeah, and
And then and then you said it's about in the New Year's Eve that
yeah,
you decided.
yeah, yeah, because for 2 of those years I just pressed the fuck it button, and I was just like, whatever, whatever. I literally didn't. It's not that I didn't care. I just couldn't get myself back.
I know.
And then the last year, I was trying to get sober again. I'd have weeks, months, maybe when I was sober, and then I'd go back again. And then, but the final thing was the New Year's Eve when I'd been away with my son, and for a week over Christmas, and I came back on New Year's. I was coming back home for a New Year's Eve party at mine, just a small gathering of friends, and they said, would you mind if we brought champagne? And my inner child, my inner addict was going, bring it. I could feel myself going, would I mind? I'd love it, you know. So I could just
Yeah,
see
I
my
know.
behavior, and they brought champagne, and the rest history.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and then
It's
that,
horrible.
yeah, yeah, and but then that New Year's Day, I was done. Yeah,
Done.
yeah, done.
Yeah. And you could do it without going to rehab.
No,
That's different.
I've been to 3 rehabs. Yeah, I've been, but
Okay.
yeah, but they weren't for. I was sober. I'd been sober every time I went to rehab. So
Oh, really?
the first rehab I was in, it was post-traumatic stress disorder, eating disorder, yeah, and all the stuff that's underneath, the second stage recovery stuff, the all the
And,
other
and
addictions.
what? And did you get in touch? Did you find out what, why you were drinking?
Yeah,
Under,
eventually,
like
yeah,
talking about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I was drinking. I mean, mainly there was a lot of codependency in me. My mother's an alcoholic. My mother's a narcissist. What was a narcissist. Um, she was very abusive, and
Oh, okay.
um, because of my upbringing. Lots of things happened in my childhood that I people were I was numb, completely numb, and actually the only way that I could feel anything was two-thirds of the way down a bottle of red wine, and then I was like, wow,
Yeah.
is this what people talk about when they mean you feel something? This is like wow, and then it was gone again. Um,
Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I couldn't feel anything. I didn't feel temperatures. My body, I didn't feel hot or cold. I was my all everything. I didn't know whether I was hungry, whether I was full. I didn't know anything. My whole body gauge was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I totally identify with that because I in those all in this 5 6 years that I've been trying to get sober, and I would get sober for like 4 months, 5 months because I wanted to lose weight, those kind of things.
yep,
And
yep.
then I remember one day I was living in Germany at the time, and I had to furniture my apartment, and my father died 6 years ago, so it's when I really start to drink more,
Yeah,
and then I have a picture. It's a watercolor. It's actually right here, this one. And it's from my city in Brazil. And it was the street that my dad would always walk on every morning. And when I saw the watercolor, I bought it.
wow.
And I took it to Germany. And I'm going to get emotional. I was finishing my apartment. And then the last thing that it was missing was this picture, this watercolor that I bought. And when I put it on the wall, I just became so emotional, and I had this anxiety that I could not handle. And then and I was by myself. My daughter was at school, and then I just ran to the store and bought a can of wine and start drinking. And then I relapsed. So I relapsed a lot of times, and it was always on when I was like desperate.
Yeah,
And like you said, just now I'm like a little bit more sober, and I don't mean just about the time that I'm sober. I mean that why I am sober now.
yeah,
I think now I'm doing for the right reasons.
yeah,
And then now I also know a little bit that why I felt so uneasy in my body.
yeah.
It's all about trauma, and
Trauma,
my
yeah,
father was bipolar. He was like my best friend, but he was bipolar for what I think, and so our lives were always
yeah,
very ups and downs.
yeah,
So that anxiety comes from like what's going to happen next.
yeah.
Is
That's
he going to
right.
be
Yeah,
okay? He's not going to be okay. So
yeah,
I think so that's for me is what makes
yeah,
sense. And now I have to always, when I still have anxiety, and I have to remind myself that
yeah,
it's just in my head and that will go away. And then that's how I'm dealing with my anxiety now without alcohol.
yeah. Well done, Mel. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, it's hard.
it's hard, you know. It's the nervous system. It's your body trying to keep you safe, which is what I've learned. You know, it's our own neuro pathways and body trying to keep us safe. I have terrible, I'd say terrible, that's not the right word. I have huge abandonment issues because
Uh,
when I was born, my mom was really busy. She was a
no.
19-year-old girl. She was very, very busy
Oh, was a child.
working, and both my parents were working. And I was brought up by nannies. I was handed to a nanny at 1 month old, and by the time I was 9.5 months old, I'd had five primary carers. I have massive abandonment issues that I've had to work on, which is I didn't even know that that's what was literally driving my bus. You know, like I couldn't get attached to people. They would all, it was all unconscious. They would always leave. And my behavior, I've really had to look at and work on a lot of that behavior, which I thought was me. I thought it was my personality. It's not my personality. It's a trauma response to childhood abandonment trauma.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, so
yeah. We think is our personality, right?
it's not a
You
personality.
think is our,
It's not your
no, it's
personality.
not.
No, no,
It's not,
no,
and
no.
it's just your trauma because, as I said before in another interview, and what I've learned is that our body, when they felt the trauma when we
Mm,
were little,
mm.
uh, it stays in your body, the
Yeah, it does.
reaction,
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
and your nervous system.
Your nervous
And
system. Yeah,
then now, yeah, we feel the same,
yeah.
but nothing is happening.
No, that's right. So
But
the
you still
yeah,
feel a new,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like the
And
war. Yeah, sorry, Mel.
no, no, just say
Yeah.
I don't shut up.
It's like the war. It's like the war's over. You know, the war's over. So it's complex post-traumatic stress disorder was driving me. Still does a lot actually. Um,
Mhm.
but I have other ways of coping with it now, and I realize what it was instead of it overloading me and me thinking. But I still get bad reactions. I still have to check
Mhm.
myself. You know, it's a daily reprieve, really. It's a daily
Yeah.
reprieve, and you
It's-
get triggered by things, and then you think it's real, and it's not real, and then I have to go through a whole process of what's real, what's not real. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Oh my,
yeah, all of that. You know,
it's
it's
so
still yeah.
it's so relatable because for me it's the same, and the people that I'm talking to, it's very similar the feeling,
Yeah,
and then comes the shame, right?
yeah, that's right, of course.
Uh, which is and then you get, like in my case, my anxiety with my trauma, with my shame
Yeah,
and guilty, and then you put it all together, and then
yeah,
you know you have everything to relapse
yeah,
because it's too much,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. It's
So one
yeah, I
thing
mean the
that
shame.
oh my god, sorry,
No, the shame. No,
just
there's sorry,
yeah, the shame.
there's a little bit of a delay, Mel, so sorry if I'm interrupting. I think you finished and then I speak and then you haven't finished. So sorry about that.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes there's a
No, it's
delay.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah, is it
there
the
is the
internet?
shame. The shame is horrendous. You know, oh my God, the shame. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is what I've written about. I've written about. Yeah, I'd really like to just mention about the book, if that's okay.
Of course,
Um,
of course, of course.
yeah. So I write using the pen name Gladys Swan because it's kind of I really like it. It keeps me safe. It keeps anybody that I'm writing about safe. I write as fiction, and
Wow.
I write so that I can intertwine. You know, life imitates art, art imitates life, and so I interweave. things, my own experiences, other people experiences, and I love it. And actually, writing as somebody else takes it away from me,
Well,
which is pardon.
hmm
Right, so
no, I
writing,
think it's awesome.
yeah, so writing as somebody else. Gladys was my grandma's name, and my grandma was my safe place. And up until I was 12 when she sadly passed away, but she was my safe place all the time I was until then, and she was a suffragette, which is uber cool. And then swan because they look so graceful on the top, but they're going like that underneath, you know. And also because their wings are really strong, you know. They're like whack, which I can be a bit like that sometimes. You know, I have to tone it down. But I like it because it helps me separate it from myself because it's not really about me. It's a story to be told for other people to hear a story rather than it being about it, it's not for me, if that makes sense. It's to tell the story.
Yeah, of course,
It's for
of
other
course.
people, you know, and it's my recovery journey told through my a lot of it is through my leading lady Lena White, and yeah, I cover postnatal psychosis, single parenting, living in poverty, yeah, it's an addiction, recovery from addiction and childhood abuse, which is in there, which is a subject that most people don't want to talk about, but I feel it's imperative to start raising that
Yeah.
narrative because from my experience in the rooms of recovery, um, all the other recovery rooms that I went into, and there were many. You know, they say there's 5 bins and there's four lids. 5 bins, 4 lids. You know,
I love that. I love that.
yeah, codependency, Al-Anon. You know, sex and love addiction, Narcotics Anonymous. The list's endless. You know. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and I've explored them all, and in a lot of those rooms, the majority of people have suffered childhood sexual abuse. And that is
Oh yeah.
very, very unfortunately what I experienced. That's the main thing that I've had to uncover, which has taken me a long time to face and work through and deal with. But I now refuse to keep quiet about it. It's something that,
Um,
yeah,
that's that's
yeah,
so uh, nice and not nice, but refreshing to listen because when I started to share my story,
mm,
I was thinking, am I going I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to talk about
yeah,
this, should I tell the whole
yeah,
story? And then suddenly I realized if you're not going to tell the whole story, so
yeah.
just don't say anything,
Exactly, Mel.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, I've got
Right?
goosebumps. I've got goosebumps, Mel. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and I also had some abuse when I was a child, sexual.
I'm
It was
sorry.
not, no, I'm sorry for you too. It was not something that lasts a long time. It was like a one-time thing.
Yeah,
And I did not think that would ever affect me
yeah,
because it was one time.
yeah,
And then all my behavior
yeah,
and my
yeah,
sexuality and
yeah,
everything
yeah, yeah,
linked to that
yeah,
one
yeah.
day, you
Absolutely, Mel.
know, I,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and how you do it because it's like I don't even remember very well,
No.
I because I don't know, I was like 10, I don't know. I don't even remember what age I was. I
Mm,
just remember that this happened kind of, and 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 but it stays with you, and it changed how I felt about myself.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, changes your choices, changes your choices, changes your opinion of yourself. It violates your boundaries. You don't even realize that's what it's done. Has a catastrophic impact on your life, your self-image. Mine happened between the ages of 5 and 7, repeatedly, from 5 to 7,
Um,
and and the
so
and
sorry.
then thank you, and then again we moved, and then it happened uh, again, then often,
Yeah.
and it made me a different person. And I've had to reclaim myself through healing. And I've worked with the most incredible woman, who sadly is not doing the work she was doing anymore. Um, she's taken some time for herself, but through the work that she was doing, I worked with her for over a year. Um, on a deep, deep level. And being in a group of people who've also experienced the same thing, you get the validation, you get the acknowledgement, you get the, oh my God. And I went through a
Yeah, it's
stage.
just,
My body. I was in a rehab, and well, a rehab, an eating disorders clinic, and the therapist asked me to report it to the police, which I did in 2016. And I was
you
interviewed by,
did.
I did, I was interviewed by, she said it's one of the worst cases of child abuse that's ever walked into her office.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I'm so sorry.
yeah, thank you, Mel, yeah. And thank you. I mean, I talk about it like, oh, let's have a cup of tea, but I'm not meaning to talk about it in such a detached way. I'm trying to, be as objective as possible about it so that I can, share it, because
Oh my,
the minute the police officers said 7 hours they interviewed me for, and the minute they said to me, "We believe you," my body went into a trauma response, and I've been dealing with that ever since. And that was 2016, and I've now starting to come out of it.
oh my God, I'm getting emotional.
The body keeps us,
uh,
yeah, me to be, the body remembers, and it takes somebody to say, I believe you. You know, yeah, they dug really deep.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it goes, it
yes,
resonates very deeply, and the I mean the what I got emotional about is that we had to live a whole life
yeah, yeah, that's
suffering,
right, that's right. I
right?
know, exactly,
And
exactly. Exactly. I've chosen shit partners. I've haven't been married. I've made so many terrible decisions based on what my programming was. I don't blame anybody. Well, I do actually. I blame those assholes that thought it was okay, you know.
yes,
But
of
I
course,
can't. I can't go. Oh, it's all sweetness and life. I mean, I'd pulverize them if they were still here. But I think that's quite righteous anger. I think it's righteous.
of
If
course, of
you know,
course.
um, and yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Oh my God, it's so brave.
hmm
It's so brave to tell this, and it's gonna help so many people that does not have the courage to come out. I can listen to my mother calling me when I post this and
wow.
telling me what why the hell did you say that? You
Oh
know,
wow,
because
Mel.
she feels guilty, you know.
Yeah,
And but I mean it's no one's fault. It's just that I think it's important to
yeah,
share,
yeah,
and not just to help people,
yeah.
because it helps me
Helps
also,
me. It helps me
right?
to. Yeah, helps me. Helps me go. You know what? I don't need to shut my mouth because you don't like it. And
Yeah.
and I'm not prepared to do it anymore. I've done it all my life. I was told, I was constantly called an attention-seeking drama queen. I was told I'm a liar. I was told, oh this, oh this, oh this, oh this, oh this. You know, then the list is endless about what I was called, even growing up, because probably was a nightmare. I say nightmare, inverted commas. I was a distressed child.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
I couldn't function in school. I could barely learn. I couldn't read until I was about 11 years old. I couldn't read. My brain was just
Oh,
numb. My brain was not absorbing
yeah,
any information.
probably you had to get out of your
Yeah,
body
yeah, I did. Yeah,
when it was happening, so
yeah.
you would not have to have survived,
No, I
you
wouldn't.
know.
I
And then
wouldn't have survived.
we
No.
we get used to disattach from
Yeah,
our own life.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then you stop to see in reality,
Yeah,
and there's just this thing that you it's your escape, and then
yeah,
of course you went to alcohol as I did, but I was also into food before.
yeah, me too.
I was a food addict, and then when I was 20 something, I decided to do the surgery, the
Wow,
bariatric surgery,
wow.
and I did. And then everything went to hell because I lost weight, but I did not do like therapy
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
So suddenly,
yeah,
even my like doorman was treating me different because suddenly I was more attractive
yeah,
or something
yeah,
like that,
yeah, yeah.
and and that and that fed me so much, like, oh my God. And then I would go out and drink and just I had no boundaries,
No, me neither,
nothing.
Mel. No, me neither. No, no.
And I was lucky enough to, even with all this party going, the drinking and the everything that comes with drinking and going out when you're a young woman, like, you know,
Yeah.
and and then I had like this thing, like, I'm done with that. I
Mm.
can't anymore, but not the drinking, the going out,
Yeah.
and then I got married and had my daughter, and built a life, and then I started to paint and became an artist, and then but I was still drinking. With my husband every day and night, but it was just at night, so I was still able to do a life for myself. Um, and then I say I'm lucky because it could have gone so
Yeah.
so so much worse than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then after my father died, then I just drank, and then I start hiding drinking, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I'm sure what it is
Yeah.
to have an addiction
Yeah.
and have to try to hide,
Yeah.
and then is your full-time job is to drink and try to hide your
Yeah.
drinking,
Of course.
and
Yeah.
that was it. I was lucky, um, I think, uh, for a perspective, I think I was really lucky because it could have gone much worse. And now we're dealing with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Without doubt.
I feel so privileged. I've got the most wonderful team around me. You know, I don't have a lot of friends. I'm not interested in having loads of people around me. It's not my bag, you know. I've got a really close group of friends around me, and I'm so blessed to have the people I have in my life who are just adorable. And I have Well, I mean, firstly, I have a wonderful son. That's the main thing, you know. I have, that's why the book's called "I'm Keeping My Baby," because
Oh,
I was told I'd never have children. I had endometriosis, which
me
apparently they
too. I had to
really.
do IVF.
Oh wow, oh wow. Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there are now talks potentially that endometriosis, and I'm not saying this for everybody, but there are now talks that it is potentially a trauma response, that it may not be a gynecological issue, that it may be an autoimmune response. But you know,
Never heard of this.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but I do a lot of research on endometriosis and you know what's about and what the latest discussions about it, but not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Everybody, you know, not saying for 1 minute that everybody that's got endometriosis has had a traumatic
Yeah,
childhood, but it can be potentially. I mean, I have to be really careful. It can be a potentially contributing factor. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I was told I'd never have children. I was forced to have a termination at 22, which I never recovered from. And then I got pregnant with my son, and they told me I should have a termination with him too, and I told them to go f themselves. And my son's now a healthy, wonderful, healthy man, and I have two beautiful grandchildren, and yeah, I'm proud of myself that I said no.
yeah, I'm proud of it.
Yes. And they said, oh,
It's
you'll
awesome.
die. Pardon?
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I mean,
They said you'll die, the baby might die, the baby might be born deformed. And I said, I don't give a shit. You already told me I can't get pregnant. It's my second pregnancy. Maybe you don't know what you're talking about. You know, I'm not doing it. So
yeah.
I'm proud
Uh,
that my inner gangster came out.
that's wonderful. I didn't know I had it, and then I was trying to get pregnant
Mm,
because my husband really wanted to have a kid,
yeah,
and I wanted, but it was not something that like if I was single, I would do it by myself. But just if it
right,
happened, you know.
right,
But I
right.
was not
Yeah,
going. No. And then we try and didn't work. And then I went to the doctor, and then they found out I had
wow,
endometriosis. And then they said that the best chance was IVF. And I was lucky enough that in the first time I got pregnant.
wow, congratulations.
And now I have this, thank you, this beautiful daughter who's 11. Her name is Olivia.
Wow,
She's beautiful, she's smart, she's everything. A little bit annoying also, and very
of course.
stubborn. But yeah, but it's amazing.
Yeah,
And I don't know where I would be if I haven't had her.
yeah,
And because I think in the beginning a lot of my strength just came from her, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and I had to leave her to go to rehab, and that was I think the hardest thing,
yeah,
because I would die for her, but I couldn't stop drinking for her,
yeah, yeah, I know.
and
Yeah,
but now we are here, and I'm getting too much emotional today. I don't know why,
that's
um,
good. Emotions is
but. Yeah, and I went for a long time without being able to cry.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't cry.
no,
I was completely numb.
mm, yeah,
And they say if you don't cry, you also don't laugh,
that's
right?
right. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
But uh, this is so inspiring. Your story. I'm gonna get the book for sure.
Oh, thank you, Mel.
I think, of course. Oh my God, it resonates everything with me. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh,
a
I've
lot of
gone,
things.
I've gone goosey.
Oh
It's
yeah, me too.
it's the first of three books. Because I self-published. I'm currently hoping that the sales go up so I can pay for the next two, because I've already written them. I just need to edit a bit and then they're ready to go. And then there's yeah, then there's one more, but there may be more. It's I love it. I love writing. I'm also a filmmaker. I haven't worked in the business, but
Oh my God.
yeah,
Really?
I studied filmmaking at university. I went to college. I went to film school as a mature
Okay.
student, with a child. Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's this. It was my childhood dream. I came back. I told you we were living in Portugal. We moved to Portugal because some friends of mine lived in Cascais, and my son was really ill.
Where I live?
Yeah, where you live. My son was really ill with asthma problems, so my some friends said go to Cascais and we stay with some friends, and he healed in Portugal because the
Oh my
air,
God.
yeah, the air is so beautiful and clear. We were swimming in the
Yeah.
sea every day. I love Portugal. I love it. I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
It's awesome. And now everybody found out about Portugal. So
yeah.
the only thing bad right now is because the prices of the houses, oh my God,
I bet.
it's crazy.
I bet.
Yeah, because everybody wants to be here. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Um, but I love it also. It's
yeah.
really so. You need to come and visit me.
I will, Mel. I really will. I will.
Then we do a podcast just live, which is much better.
Yeah.
But I have to say that this episode that I'm doing right now. It's my favorite one. I didn't get so emotional
Oh,
in a
Mel.
long time. And it's your story is so beautiful. And oh my God, I'm just overwhelmed today just to have to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Mel.
So
Thank you. I feel very
and
happy. I feel very privileged, and I feel very to be able to share with you, and also I'm actually would like to say I'm proud of both of us for being able to. I mean, I made a conscious decision before I came on here that I was going to talk about it, because otherwise, what's the point? As you say, if you can't tell the whole story, it's like excavating. I've excavated my brain and I've gone to the depths of my amygdala and I've gone, tell me what's there. Tell me what you're trying to show me. Because I used to have flashbacks in the night, people breaking into my room. I didn't know what they were. It was like my brain was breaking. And I would drink to shut my brain up. I didn't know what the problem was. And
yeah, yeah,
eventually, it starts to come out. We trust God, the universe, to help us find what we're trying to hide, or what we're ready to hear. And as I say, I'm so blessed. I've got therapists around me, friends
yeah.
who are
Me too.
patients, and therapists. And I don't go to recovery rooms anymore. I stopped going when the trauma started coming up because I found it too much. I was overwhelmed. So if I need to go, I'll go. But otherwise, I do the work in therapy and with a few trusted friends that I feel I can share with.
Yeah, yeah. I don't go to. I have actually from my rehab a group that I do once a week,
Hmm.
but just because my therapist, which is also from the rehab, we do it online. She says that she thinks it's important, but I think it's more a lot now. I'm in a place to help people instead of being there trying to get help, and so I do it because I think it helps the people that are on the group on the rehab to see that there is hope, because when you are in there you
Yeah,
feel like there's
yeah,
no
you
way
do.
I
Yeah,
can do that.
yeah,
So that's why I do it,
yeah,
and that's why I'm doing the podcast.
yeah. Well done, Mel.
I have one last. one last question for you, that I always ask everybody that I talk to.
Yeah,
It's like, uh, what would you say for that old you, that it's someone that it's happening now, that it just can't stop, and it's like suffering so much because it's this person that I really hope
yeah,
to reach.
yeah, yeah.
And what would you say to do, like to do the first step, or just
Uh,
just
there's there's
what?
there's there's several things I'd say, if I may. First
Of
thing,
course.
first thing is um, try and believe that it will get better, and put one foot in front of the other rather than thinking that you've got to do it all at once. Just put one foot in front of the other. And um, the thing that helped me, which was a great advice, and it's very practical before I go on to the next thing, is change your entire home around if you can. Change everything in your home around so that you're not coming through the front door, sitting on the sofa in the same place as you always sat when you were drinking. Change your routine,
Hmm.
change your flat around, change everything around. Even if you live in a bedsit, change it all around so you're breaking your neuro pathways. So the memories aren't, aren't the habit isn't the same. And then I would also say find somebody who you can talk to rather than be talked at. Find
Oh, that's
somebody,
awesome.
find somebody who will listen to you rather than butt in all the time and give you their opinions. Find somebody who can hold space for you, and if they can't hold space for you, don't be scared to walk away, because that was the worst thing that happened for me. Everybody had an opinion on how I was, what I should do. I just needed someone to listen to me and hold space for me while I fell apart. And very few people can do it.
Very few.
I don't want
That's
advice.
so big.
I don't want your advice. I don't need your advice. I need to cry. I need to fall apart. I don't want you to butt in. I want you to listen. And then when I've finished, I want a hug.
That's so awesome because I get emotional again because I have a best friend that he's an addict, but it was cocaine. And when he was really bad, I helped him. And when I was really bad, he put me in rehab with my family. And he never judged me. He always just listening and was there for me in my relapses and every
Yeah.
time of of my life. So, um, uh, if you have someone like this, really, really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's what you said is just perfect. And I think it's going to help so many people, so many.
Thank you. The other thing is, I've had to, you know, like if you're around people who are drinking, it can be very difficult, and you know I don't know, we sometimes have to change who we hang around with, and change who we become, we're around, if it's, if it affects us, or we have to change. Sometimes we have to change all our friends. Not to be scared to do that, because there are beautiful people. There are beautiful people waiting for you. There are. It's just very hard to
Yes, there
realize
are.
that.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely there is.
yeah.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad to talk to you, Penny.
Thank you, Mel.
I'm gonna let you go, but I love it. I'm gonna be posting and the book, everything. And thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Mel.
much again. You make my day so much
Thank you for
brighter.
asking me. Thank you for sharing, and for the space. Thanks, Mel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
And you, darling. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.